Our gold medal team this year had a combined total of 133 placing points, 230 fish points, and 320 fish caught, making their way to the stage as the 36th FIPS-Mouche World Fly Fishing Championship gold medal team.
I don't know what it is specifically about fly fishing that keeps me going back. But there's something different about holding a rod in your hand and figuring out a way to make a fish eat a fly. When you're connected to a fish, you feel like you're connected to everything.
I think anglers are connected to the water because water is the essence of life. It feeds the fish and the bugs and the plants. And being close to nature brings ultimate peace for a lot of people.
And the thing is, if we weren't fly fishing, if we weren't in these competitions, we wouldn't be here. And seeing different parts of the world from this perspective is just amazing. So we're very lucky as anglers. We get to see so many sights that most people would never normally see. We see fantastic bird life, we see great animal life, we see fantastic wildlife all over the world. And it's because we fish. And you are sort of one with your environment as well.
There's no better place than perhaps on a river searching for trout that allows you to disconnect from all the technologies of the world and enjoy what's around you. Hello, my name is John Knight, the international organizer of the 36th FIPS-Mouche World Fly Fishing Championship. Why do the World Fly Fishing Championships? My wife Jody and I, frankly, were told it can't come to the U.S. It's too expensive. It's going to be too hard for teams. There's too much private water. It's going to be too hard to put it all together. And frankly, for no reason other than climbing that mountain because it's here, we started off on that mission.
Once we got the championship, it was a moment that made us say we have to have not just our A game, our A+ game.
As a U.S. organizer, I went first to the Czech Republic to the 34th World Fly Fishing Championship. There we learned the scoring process, the draw, and the behind-the-scenes work to make the event successful. The following year we went to Bosnia and again attended the World Championship to prepare for the U.S. After these two events, we brought back the pros and cons, some lessons learned, and then set out to set up our championship here in the United States.
So once the team started signing up, we really had to figure out the best way to showcase Vail in the U.S. as the greatest place the World Championships has been.
Bringing the event back to American soil after 2 decades was really exciting to the town of Vail. It made it especially compelling.
Having the championship of the United States certainly set some of the teams on edge. The top teams, Czech Republic, France, Team USA, Team Spain, started putting together dream teams, bringing people out of retirement just to be part of a team to travel to the United States and fish on the iconic trout waters of the American West.
the run up to the competition is madness, and then when the week finally opens, it's showtime.
Good morning out there. This is Wheeze on 97.7 True Local Radio, The Zephyr, coming to you live on another beautiful day here in the Vail Valley. The weather is absolutely perfect for the World Fly Fishing Championships that are set to get underway this morning, with the top anglers in the world converging on our local lakes and rivers.
One of the nuances with the U.S. event is that the championship water was all on private land and was not able to be previewed by the anglers.
Anglers don't find out where they're fishing until they're on the bus headed to the venue. They know which venue they're headed to, but they don't know which beat.
So you have now a scenario where these top anglers come in, they're familiar with, say, the Colorado River, but they haven't seen 3 miles of the river in which we're competing on. All of a sudden, they're walking to the water, they're reading the water. They have to decide what type of method to fish: dry fly, streamer, nymphet. And so in a championship event where losing a fish can cost you a medal, you're already on the lightweight rod with the lightest line possible. And when you add all of that up, light line, light tackle, teeny flies, bigger fish, you have to land it. It couldn't be more intense and more stressful. So you need to get that first fish on. First couple days, the teams were all spread on the scoring, and as it came down to it, we had a three-way event between the U.S., France, and Spain.
Day 3, game faces are on. People know that the World Championship's on the line, and you could see that loading buses Friday morning. And it was really going to come down to those last 2 sessions and how people fished what were now pressured waters. As we were getting scores coming in, there were U.S. competitors placing first, there were Spanish competitors placing first, and there were French competitors placing first, depending on which sector you were looking at. The results were ping-ponging, so it wasn't clear that someone was jumping way out in front.
The last session of the event, it was tied between France and Spain. They were fishing next to each other, and we could see from there who would win the championship.
You could tell that it was going to be a dogfight.
It's a good day for war.
even as the results were being processed by FIPS, we didn't know what the results were. And everyone was waiting outside the scoring room to see what the medal stand would look like.
At the end of this championship, 3,994 fish were caught and measured and released. That is a great number for 3 days of fishing. Even at that number, this event came down to 1, 2, 3 fish.
As an organizer, you can say this came down to each fish. Every fish counted. That's, you can't ask for anything more.
Our gold medal team this year had a combined total of 133 placing points, 230 fish points, and 320 fish caught, making their way to the stage as the 36 FIPS-Mouche World Fly Fishing Championship gold medal team, Team Spain. Welcome to the podium.
The strategies were not homogeneous throughout the competition. They had to shift. And you saw, particularly the Spanish team, they took their intel from day one, and you could see them in the scores reflect them putting that to use in the subsequent sessions. And the team who did that best came out on top.
We had individual winners of France, Spain, US, followed by the team gold going to Spain, closely followed by France, and then third place bronze medal going to Team USA.
This became a forum for area watershed organizations, the Denver Water Board, Trout Unlimited, to come in and speak to an international audience about issues of water conservation and protecting trout and other species.
So when we put everything together with our ceremonies, the watershed, all of our supporters, certainly showcased the best that U.S. has to offer in fly fishing.
At the end of the day, this is not only about showcasing the Vail Valley and what it has to offer people who like to fish, but it's about promoting and protecting the resource.
All the anglers that attended this event were not only ambassadors for their countries, but stewards for the watershed. We all have to be stewards to ensure these resources are here today and tomorrow.